Magic Mage from server 243, and I'm excited to announce the upcoming patch note release 2.6.7. Now, we were given a sneak peek at these patch notes on March 7th, and they're scheduled to be released for March 15th. Now, these patch notes speak towards new features for both Conquest and servers that are not in Conquest yet. I'm going to start with the Conquest features, particularly the Open Arena, and then I'll proceed on with some of the developmental balancing adjustments for drastic action. So one of the new things with our last release was we were given something called Open Arena. An Open Arena is a even playing field where all lords can choose their own troops and immortals to compete against other lords, and we're given open access to all of the skills within our Tower of Knowledge. Now, there are some constraints. We are limited to a holy or a shadow immortals. We can't choose both of them. We're also limited to choosing 2 elements out of the 5: water, fire, earth, wind, and lightning. And then we're allowed to choose only 1 chaos immortal. And then we can choose any of the Tower of Knowledge skills to apply both skills that are required in Triss and non-Triss. And I've really enjoyed this event because it's allowed me to explore some of the immortals I haven't unlocked yet or don't have access to unlock yet. And it's allowed me to see how different skills work with different immortals and to make adjustments to different armies that I'm battling so I can ensure I am planning my main march for my regular team in a way that's strategic. So I actually was curious to see some of the new water immortals, so I chose to use water in this season because I wanted to understand how Artemis and Margaret worked, how they would work together with Merlin, without Merlin, and really just kind of the different builds that can take with that. So I really wanted to see how that paired well, and then I went from there to choose some of the fire marches and the holy marches to combat some of those holy, fire, and lightning marches that we see frequently, particularly in the higher rankings. You'll notice most individuals are choosing fire, holy, and lightning, and that is almost in all of these until you get to about level 36, where we do have a water, fire, holy, and then there's a little bit more variety after that time frame. But for the most part, we're seeing lightning, fire, and holy. And what's really great about this arena is it does give us access to gold. It also will give us access to Stardust, and that is at the end of each season, depending upon where you rank. And the Stardust is fairly beneficial. I mean, you can be in the top 100,000 and you'll still receive 80 Stardust. So it's really worth playing this game. You receive gems and Dragon Essence as well, depending upon how far you are able to climb within your server and your competitors. So I really would recommend playing this game. Now, with this, like I said, we have some new updates and features coming in, and particularly they're going to start structuring the skills. We're limited to immortals and skills that we can use in the open arena for the next season. And they're also introducing with that different artifacts that we can utilize for our immortals, which really is going to be a game changer because some of those immortals like Alexander, Quinn, Elcid, all of those really do benefit from their exclusive artifact. Even Khan would be really interesting to see just how these artifacts come into play. And with these new updates, we're going to be able to choose 2 epic immortals, and they're going to be from each of the 7 elements: holy, shadow, water, earth, fire, wind, and lightning. And they're randomly selected on which immortals can be selected to use in your marches and which ones will be banned or excluded from our ability to choose for our marches and our builds. So I am curious to see, because that means we're not having like a full lightning team or a full water or a full fire team. We're really going to have to rely on just the dragon and 2 immortals to get some of those boosts. But we will maybe be able to see a Chaos Immortal in there that we can utilize to enhance those skills and those benefits for using teams of 4. There are some restrictions additionally to the Tower of Knowledge skills. Some will be banned, some will be available to us. That is also indicating to be random. And then when skills are banned, those immortals who have those skills already equipped to them will no longer have those skills. So just make sure that you are looking at your immortals before you're going into your attacks to ensure that they do have all the skills needed. And with that, like I said, we also have an update, and that is in regards to our Tower of Knowledge. And within that Tower of Knowledge, it's regarding a legendary skill, and it is the skill of a drastic action. And they're saying that this is going to go from a 50% to a 70%, which means it's going to trigger more frequently, because dropping in armies or immortals HP below 70% will happen sooner than that 50% target range, and they're saying that is to help balance and adjust the use of this skill. This is a ability stone skill. The other thing they're adjusting is the Holy Defense against Shadow has been lowered for that particular element, so just be aware of that coming out. So those are the ones that are affecting our conquest season. Now some of the optimization pieces, that's going to be all abroad with multiple pieces, so we'll be able to sell those ability stones. So the ability stones are what we can get from Blessings of Triss. We can also get them from KVK. So if we have, let's say, a free Blessing of Triss wish that we perform, we get an ability stone that we're not either interested in utilizing or that we've already unlocked. We can now use those stones to turn them into Stardust, which is really advantageous. They're not going to be sitting in our backpacks. The other thing that they're allowing us to do is the stone slotting, and I need to move into my main account for that so we can show it, because my current account in Conquest is small and doesn't have the armor where we can actually allot stones. So as I move into my lab, we can see the different armor that we can equip stones to. And what it's saying is really when we choose to equip and enhance these stones, now when I go to compose these gems, any gem that's currently actually sitting on an immortal, we can use those to also enhance and compose those stones. We do not have to actually physically remove each and every stone to then compose our gems to enhance them and bring them back up to a higher level. We can do that while they're actually sitting on our immortals. I am curious to see if those stones are enhanced if we have, let's say, both a Richard and Khan using the same type of stone, which stone is enhanced and for which immortal. So that's one thing I'm going to be curious to see how that works. Is the stones already equipped to our immortals? How are we determining which one is actually going to be enhanced that are equipped to the equipment for our immortals? So that's one thing I'm excited to see, and we'll have to look at closer when the new patch is out. We also are receiving a new immortal. This is an Earth immortal, Pakal the Great. I'm wondering what type of immortal this is, if they're a bowman, shieldman, spearman, or if they are cavalry, and how that might change some of the earth marches that we see today, and what defensive skills we're going to need to combat some of this new earth immortal and their ultimate skill. Now, one great thing about the update is we do have the Primal Pinball. Primal Pinball is this game here, and what you do is you purchase different balls to release, and you had to originally click that frog for every single ball that was purchased. This is going to allow us to just press the frog and let them continuously release, which should save time and allow us to focus more on our overall game and playing the small miniature games, and not clicking 100 times, for instance, this frog to release all those pinballs. So that's a great update and will be really advantageous. The Primal Pinball game really is a pay-to-play game, so it won't really affect some of those free-to-play members, but those ones that are paying, it should make that game more enjoyable. The other thing they've mentioned is this one thing that they did enhance under optimizations is this main menu shop access. They are indicating that in this top right hand corner, we will be able to access this gem shop here. They've also indicated the Blessing of Trish shop, which is in here, and the VIP shop, and our Alliance shop. All of these different shops are indicating will be accessible at the top right hand side. The other one they indicated was our arena shop, which is this shop here. So that should make things easier, so we're not going into multiple locations, but we'll be able to access all those shops in this top corner up in this area right hand side here in one simple interface. They indicated that our nobility interface is changing and they're making that more visually pleasing. I am not sure exactly what that's going to look like or if much outside of just the appearance is changing for this, but it's something to keep an eye on. Remember that each kingdom does have different lords that are ranked within each tier based off of the honor points accrued from attacking other lords. And then they also have indicated a chest, dragon chest update. So instead of needing to go into our trove to click purify and or open a chest, we should be able to do this anywhere on our screen. And that is really exciting because if, let's say, I am out and participating in a game, farming gnomes, to still process that dragon chest while I'm playing my games without actually leaving the current situation I am in, especially if I'm not within my courtyard. So I'm excited about that one. Actually, particularly, that one seems really interesting, and I'm glad to see that will appear on our main interface, and we're not going to have to just wait to go into the courtyard to open those chests. I hope you've enjoyed this and are as excited as I am for these updates. Remember that if you do go on to our Facebook page within Infinity Kingdom, if you leave your ID and your comments regarding these upcoming patch notes and your hashtag patch notes, there are gifts that you could potentially receive. They're going to select 20 lords for these gifts, so make sure you take advantage of these small little opportunities within our social media platforms to really actually reap in different rewards and let the developers know what you think, what you're excited about, what you're concerned about, what you would like to see enhanced further. And that does actually get listened to. I've seen a lot of those comments taken and put into place over the last year. So remember, your voice does count. They really are listening to you and they want to know what's really working so they can continue enhancing our game the way we need or want to see it enhanced, and adjusting what we feel should be adjusted to ensure that the gaming experience remains enjoyable for everyone within the community. If you do need to know where your ID is, if you collect your avatar, your Lord ID would be right here. Just remember to copy it. It's that little button there, and then you just have to paste that in, so you don't have to write that whole number out. If you liked this content, please remember to like and subscribe, and until next time, have a wonderful day.